Hi everyone, welcome to tutorial 9. This is a last tutorial session for big data analytics and I would like to go through unstructured data analysis using PySpark. This is a really interesting topic because we need to understand how to deal with unstructured data and to be able to analyze them. And also you can apply the same approach for semi-structured data to know how you can work with, these format of data. We have worked, guys, with structural data, with tabular format data, with Scoop, and then we imported them, into uh, HDFS, and we applied, Impala, for analysis, and we did same with KDDCOP, structural data. Uh, we use it, for Spark SQL, and we saw that how we can apply SQL queries on structured data like KDDCOP, and also we applied RDD and data frame data structures for KDDCOP, last week at tutorial 8, and now is a time to see how we can go ahead with an unstructured data. So guys, since the file that I'm going to go through is the huge data, like about 1.5 gigabyte unstructured data, that's a log file. So I prefer to have the data, guys, to have it in my Google Drive and to have it, forever. Because if you want to load data in Google Colab, once you close your, runtime, and then it will be deleted and you have to load it again. So it takes lots of time. So why not to put data somewhere secure, and you can make sure you can have access, and your availability to file is everywhere and every time. So let's run one by one to see how we can get access to the data. So I want to get access to my Google Drive, so it gives me a code. I have to sign in to my Google account. So it asks me, for authorization, and then I have to allow the access, and then it gives me, this link, and I have to copy this one. Once you have copied, you have to come here and paste it here and press enter. So once you have done it, can you see, guys, it's running. Okay, it's done. So if you refresh this one, and you can see drive is here. So drive, my drive, and here somewhere I have this one, GH torrent. So if I open it, so you can see, guys, I have this file, which is, you can see this is 300 megabyte zip file, and this is somehow 1.13 gigabyte data after unzipping. So guys, you need to make sure to put it in your Google Drive, and this is my suggestion. So let me run these cells, guys. You know them. I'm not going to explain them because we already know what are these. So data source, guys, I'm using data source from this website, and this website is here. This is, very, proper coding on a structured data on GH torrent. So GH torrent, guys, is the combination of, log files from GitHub website. So what is GitHub? If you go to GitHub, guys, I think the most of you know about GitHub because GitHub is an open source project, for software developers. So, if you want to design a system, if you want to design an application to be open source, you can create an account in GitHub and make it available for everyone. Even you can invite, advanced and expert people in software development field, and ask them and invite them to join to your project and develop your project freely. And everyone, from around the world, They can connect to your project and contribute with your project. Like Linux, do you know how Linux, has been invented through GitHub? They made, this project available somewhere like GitHub, and more than 50K, or let's say 50,000 developers around the world, they joined the project for the Unix, and they develop, Unix systems. So if you go through this website, guys, you can create your own project, and even you can log in, to the current open project, and you can join them if you want to contribute with their project. And guys, this is very nice for software licensing. You can apply open source licensing, free licensing, and even you can put your software codes for even for learning purposes. And this website is a great website, for your visibility. So I highly recommend you guys, if you want to be expert, in software development for any kind of software, like cloud-based, web-based, Windows-based, uh, IoT-based, big data-based. You can use, GitHub, and every, single lines of code for any project is available in GitHub. So since you log into GitHub and work with GitHub, there is a log file is going to collect, and is going to collect and monitor, your activities, within this website. And we want to use these activities, and these activities are, collecting in a log file in this format. So guys, as you can see, that this is completely unstructured. So starting from with event processing, and is explaining exactly, the field is gonna say the first one is the logging level, is like debug, info, warning, or error, separating by comma, debug. And then the next one is, the timestamp. Third one is downloader ID. So this is downloader ID. And the last one would be, a line or a section with 5 parts. So, but for instance, here is only 1 part, 2 part, 3 parts, and also 4 parts. But here we need 5 parts. And maybe here, as you can see that, guys, there is only, uh, let's say this one. If you go with debug, timestamp, downloader ID, and also here, as you can see, guys, completely different format at the last column. So few columns are, I mean, separated by commas, some of them with 2 dashes, and some of them with colon, and some of them, with white space. So this is completely unstructured data, and there is no specific structure. And we want to go through, this file for analysis. So guys, as you can see, there are lots of practices. If you wish, you can go through that and apply the same codes, and then you would see how you can, work with that. As you can see, in this assignment, they went through the loading data, some basic content filtering. They apply some analytics, using RDD, and then they applied some analysis, guys, using data frames. So as you can see, guys, with any type of data, you can use either RDD or data frames, or you can use both of them, together. This is really nice. And Spark, the one reason Spark is, very user friendly and widely, used, let's say, uh, platform or technology, is because of, these features available in Spark. So let me get back and go back to the practice. So I'm gonna to load the file. I'm using SC, and then I'm reading data from drive. Guys, here I unzipped this file, and if you wish, you can go ahead, with the zip file, because in Spark you can read both of them. So doesn't matter, but let's working with txt file, because last week we worked with the zip file. I want to show you there is no difference, because Spark can read any format of data. So the txt. So, and then let's take 10 records and find out what's going on. We have to make sure that we have access to the data. So guys, as you can see, we have access to the data. So the first step for analyzing unstructured data is to make it, I mean, as an organized data set, or any, I mean, like a structured format. So if you can convert it to a structured format, even with few columns, it means you can, I mean, have it as, a structured format, and you can convert them to the data frame and start working, with data frame. So to make it, guys, to make this unstructured data, to be a bit more organized, I want to do, I want to replace, some syntaxes, or let's say some symbols, with comma, and make them separated, by comma. For instance, I've designed and I made a Python code here is gonna to split. It says get line and replace two dashes is exactly here. And guys, make sure this is white space here and this is white space here. So it means exactly this one. So I want to replace it with comma. I want to replace dot .rb colon with comma is exactly here. Why I'm going to, I mean, separate them, because I've read, guys, here, uh, the data, guys. That's the reason you have to read data description, understand data, and then go through, separation. As you can see, guys, these are the main point. Based on these four main points, I can, go through, I mean, this is splitting. So, and then I want to split, these unstructured data into, I mean, this format. Let me run it. Is not executing at this time because I have to call it. So then gtorrent rdd. This is exactly the data I've loaded. This is exactly here, right? So here I want to apply a splitter, this function, to see how we can convert it to, I mean, a structured format as much as possible. So guys, as you can see here, I've loaded 5 records. As you can see, info, comma, and then there is a timestamp and timestamp, comma. That's fine. gtorrent -31, and as you can see, I've deleted this gh dash, this one here. As you can see, gh torrent dash, I've deleted, I mean, I've replaced it basically with comma, right? That's the reason it's coming here. And after that, 31 would be free. That's the reason it's here. This is because of this splitter. And at the end, I kept, then here dot rb colon, as you can see here, dot rb colon is gonna be, I mean, replaced with comma. It's exactly, here, gh torrent retriever, gh torrent retriever, and so on. This is the part of, dot rb. So, and then the last column, guys, it's completely, unstructured. I couldn't do anything with last columns because there is no any unique pattern to find and, split them. For instance, here, there is a word exist at the end of the line, but here, this value is at the end of the, file. There are exist, but there is, unity bit detection. So I couldn't, guys, separate them, or I couldn't replace them. So that's the reason I kept the last column as it is. So it's fine. I mean, I try my best to make it, in the structure format. So let's see. I mean, the next step is about enumerate. That's a very interesting method, in Python. And let's see how does it work. Because I want to extract first column, second column, third column, and last, I mean, this fourth column. I want to extract these 4 columns into like data frame. Because now these 4 columns, these 4 columns are structured now. But the last column is still unstructured. So let's see how this function enumerate is it's working. So let me execute this Python code. This is for your practice. So I have a list. The name is fruit, apple, banana, grape, and pear. And if you say for item in enumerate fruit and then print item, so as you can see, guys, is the output. So enumerate, guys, is a method that add counter, within your iteration. It means item at the first, I mean, I mean, for the first index is apple. So first index is 0. It says 0 apple. So then item is banana, and banana is index 1, right? Because this is index 0, 1, 2, 3. As you can see, guys, it's going to print out, index, or let's say pointer, or let's say counter, and then the value. So if you use this one for count item, it means there are two pointers, count and item. In enumerate fruit, if you say count an item, guys, count is exactly the counter 0, 1, 2, 3, and item is, apple, banana, and I mean the items available in the list. In this case, if you wish, you can just keep, items, and then it's gonna to print out apple, banana, grape, pear, or you can, you can change, I mean, the counter, the start value for counter. So you have to say counter or count item in enumerate fruit 10. 10 here means start the counter from 10. It means apple is 10, banana is 11, grape is 12, and pear is 13. So that's exactly the printout message. So guys, this is really interesting, and I want to apply it here. I want to keep few symbol for analysis. I want to convert them to, RDD and data frame both together. So guys, here I made a function, guys. This is a Python function. So the name of the function is keep symbols. So here I'm saying split the line. So because I want to send, guys, each line, I want to send each line to the function, and that's the reason I have to use it. So here I'm going to say symbol indexes 0, 2, 3. I want to keep, 0, 2, 3. So let's see. 0 is this one, info, debug. This is 1. I want to ignore it. I don't want timestamp. If you want timestamp for analysis, you can keep it. 0, I ignored column 1. I've collected column 2 and 3. That's the reason. 0, 2, 3. So if you go down is 0, 2, 3. So and then I made a for loop. I said for I an item in enumerate, enumerate line split. As you can see, this is exactly, guys, similar, to this one, right? And then you can get the point. If I in index, symbol index, and then you can, guys, return it to selected item. And then here I wish to convert the list to a string, because for the further calculation we need that. So guys, here here I'm using numpy, but I think we don't need that, because I didn't use any numpy. So let me to comment it, run it. So and then here I'm applying this function on, this RDD. So what is this RDD? This RDD is exactly, guys, this one, right here. So let's see how this enumerate is working. And then I'm gonna to take 10 records to find out the output. So can you see, guys? I could successfully extract column 0, 2, 3, right? This is what exactly I wanted to achieve. So I put it in symbol RDD. So next step is so here, guys, I want to do some analysis using RDD. So if you wish to work with these unstructured data that now we change it to the structured format, you can still, working with, Spark. This is map. Lambda line, it means I want to split that. So split it, and then I want to take 20 records. So guys, as you can see, here is info, comma, 31, comma, and gh torrent. But here is, single quote info, single quote, comma, single quote 31, single quote, and so on. Because I've split it, based on comma. This is the result. And here, this part, you can, have the approach like, RDD coding on this analysis. Any kind of analysis you want to do with RDD, you can do, guys, your code here, because I want to stop here because from, afterwards you need to have the approach, to how to analyze, these data for processing using RDD. So this is the part of RDD, and then you can create, guys, you can create code here, and use this RDD for further analysis. For instance, if you wish, you can count the number of info, you can count debug, maybe you can calculate, these IDs, downloader IDs. In this case, you can calculate, descriptive statistics on the, these column 2. Even you can calculate, descriptive statistics on column 1, but make sure to convert these, these qualitative attributes to quantitatives, and at the same you can do for third column. So there are different approaches you can apply, and you can still working on analysis, or you can completely convert these data into data frame, guys, and then apply you can apply data frame approaches, on the data. Guys, this part is exactly similar to tutorial 8 that I did it with KDDCOP. So if you remember from KDDCOP, I've done some practices, using RDD on the KDD cup, and then I've changed KDD cup to data frame, and then I did some, practices on data frame. So here you can do it as well. So let's see. I'm using, this part. This is the features, logging, downloader ID, retrieval stage, and then I can here convert. RDD2 data frame. So here I'm removing null values, and I want to show the data into data frame format. So guys, as you can see, you can remember last week that I've applied KDDCOP with descriptive statistics. Guys, if you wish, you can go ahead and apply descriptive statistics, on this file. So guys, these are the steps. Now the last column still, still missing in our analysis, and I want to apply, a way to be able to analyze, this last column that, yeah, we need that, this last column. So if you want to apply analysis on this part, this is exactly, on a structure, you have to think that how we can do that. Guys, the one way to do analysis on these, on a structured format, you can have, something like text mining. If you want to apply a machine learning approach, text mining, very interesting approach for huge size data, right? To be able to work with this, part. Or you can use regular expressions. So this is really interesting topic. So here, let me to firstly take off, the last column, guys. This is exactly another method. And here I'm just going to get, last column. This is, guys, similar to, this one here. But here I'm extracting index 0, 2, and 3. But here I'm only extracting 0, 4. But here again, I don't need NumPy. And then you can execute it. And let's take 10 records. And guys, as you can see now, I have a RDD with only these, on a structured format. So let me count to see how many records there are. And since it's running, you can go through this link, guys, for regular expression. Guys, regular expression is really nice technique, to extract pattern, the pattern out of, unstructured data, or out of, string. So this is, we call it Python regex or regex, different names. We call it Python, regular expression. So, we have to import RE library, and then there are, different functions. Like find all means returns a list containing all matches, search to find, the text, and these are the meta characters. For instance, uh, staller means end of the, the match. For instance, if you want to look up for word, and staller means D is exactly the last, letter we need to, to look up, or even word is the last word that I'm going to search it through a log file. Or even, for instance, if you say uh, exactly the specific number of occurrence. For instance, I want to find AL exactly twice, and then you have to say AL curly bracket open, curly bracket close, and 2. It means look up through, look up in the file, in the unstructured file, in the text to find out, AL, or if you want to find a word using either, it means I want to find false or stays. So in this case, you have to use vertical line. So these are the meta characters, special sequences, and for instance, backslash small d means return a match where the string contains digit numbers 0 to 9. If you use capital D, means doesn't contain digits. So you have to use something like that. Guys, really interesting. You can find a set, and there are some examples. Guys, these are Python. So now we have to use them in the context of PySpark. So how we can do that? So guys, now I have more than 9 million records, somehow 10 million records, for this unstructured format. So let me import this regex, and then here, guys, this is the pattern I want to look up this transaction committed. This is a pattern I'm going to look up through, this, I mean, unstructured data. So transaction committed in the first line, we don't have it. Second line, we don't have it. No, 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 no. So guys, as you can see, we cannot find exactly the last item is transaction committed, right? So if we run it, I mean, I want to look up for lines to return this line, the line containing transaction committed. So how we can do that? We have to declare pattern. Guys, this is Python, right? This is exactly Python. It means there is an input re. From re here I've imported, the library re.find all pattern through the line. So find all, let me find it here. So guys, can you see that? Find all, return a list containing the match. So, and then I want to take the 10 records to see the result. So guys, since I want to take out a part of data, I have to use filter. But if you use map, there is no any error, but it gives you wrong output. If you remember, I mean, the first session about Spark, I've explained filter and map in detail. So let's see. So can you see, guys, it's really fast. Can you see Spark? How is that fast? Because there are more than 10 millions, close to 10 millions records, and somehow 1.13 gigabyte, I mean, volume of data. So here, as you can see, I could, I could extract exactly, these values, transaction committed, and, the associated words. And these are the things I want to do. So, I mean, you can go through this, anonymous functioning, or you can use, as exactly the functioning. So using this one as anonymous functioning or using this one is same. So as you can see here, text RDD filter, I'm using the function here. I mean, instead of using this one here, I'm using the function. So guys, there is no difference. You can see exactly the same result because, as I said, no difference. So for instance, let's say I want to extract values, to be exactly this pattern. So what is this pattern? It says backslash D. So let's go back to backslash D, this one. So it says return a match where the string contains digits 0 and 9. So it means I want to get values. So how many digits? 4 digits. It means I want to find, word to be digit, and also let's say integer with 4 digits. So this is exactly I want to find it out, and then backslash, sorry, and then here backslash s. Let's go back. Backslash s is here. Return a match where the string contains a white space character. So it means I want to find out the white space because, guys, there is white space. Can you see? And then ms. So what is ms? Exactly these words, ms, 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 right? Means milliseconds. So Guys, as you can see, there are, as you can see, 3 digits, 3 digits, 2 digits, 2 digits, 1 digit, but I want to extract those, with 4 digits. So if you run it, you can see there are 4 digits and more. So guys, it means minimum 4 digits. Okay, so 4 digits, 4 digits, 4 digits. These are like 5 digits, 4 digits, 5 digits, guys, and so on. So if you wish, you can extract these values, and if you wish, you can calculate descriptive statistics, guys, on these, numbers. If you want to find out, for instance, how transaction committed takes time. So you can find skewness, you can find courtesies, you can calculate standard deviation, you can calculate averaging to see, how to get, useful information out of transaction committed. Guys, really nice, really important, and very strong and very challenging, coding using, you know, Python regex. Guys, I highly recommend you. So guys, this is, this tutorial is like a clue for you guys to get, uh, a knowledge and a skill to know how to work with unstructured data. Let me review again what we have done. It we first load the data here, and this is the data, and we could convert this data to two parts. One part was, applying, I mean, this splitter to replace, some syntaxes, or let's say some symbols to the meaningful one, to be able to apply them, apply them, using RDD and data frame. I mean, to make them as a structure format. Or the last column, like here, that there is no any pattern, I prefer to use it, as on a structure part. So I've extracted the structure part for column 0. I ignored 1, 2, and 3, and I collected, last column, or let's say column 4, for, I mean, on a structure processing. So I've done it here. I could, extract them to this tabular format here, and here you can apply RDD coding to analyze these 3 columns. And then I've converted, these data to data frame, and here you can apply data frame approach, to analyzing, for analyzing this part. And at the end, very interesting part. This is my main concern. This is my main interest. So you can have this on a structure format, and you can go through, I mean, regular expression methods, like we call it, regex, or regular expression, and you can get well enough understanding, of these methods here in W3 schools. Very nice, learning website, for, I mean, this topic. And then you can simply create pattern and extract data. Create pattern, here, create pattern, and extract data. So very nice. And there are, guys, lots of ideas. For instance, if you want to work on your MSc dissertation, or if you want to work on PhD, guys, working with unstructured data is really interesting to know to how to work with unstructured data. I hope, guys, this session is, useful and gives you, lots of ideas, and I mean, business or research ideas to know how to work with unstructured data. The one reason to cover this session was, usually I receive comment, message, email from student or from some of my colleagues, that to how to analyze unstructured data in Spark. So I covered this session to let you know that's a way you can go through that, my friends. I hope you enjoy it. Wish you all the best, guys. Take care of yourself.